Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Loving the Skin I'm In. So today we are going to be talking about the infamous slut walk that is held every year, I think now for the last 3 years, by Miss Amber Rose. We're going to be talking about a few things in regards to that. One of them is her boyfriend, who was, I guess, a rapper by the name of 21 Savage. I could not tell you about anything that he does or raps about. But before I go, I want to go ahead and introduce the other infamous person, which is Donovan, throwing rocks and hiding his hands Sadiq.
Damn right. I'm throwing rocks. I'm mad.
That he was not invited to the slut walk.
Yes. If you're gonna do a slut walk, I want to give a shout out to all my military brethren out there. You guys know what it is to bring these chicks on base and do what we got to do.
Okay. So anyway, 21 Savage, her boyfriend.
Wait. Before you even start with that, who is Amber Rose? And it seems she has a pattern of dating black men.
Well, Amber Rose is part black.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, because she plays the role.
What role?
She could pass the paper bag. Thing. But she had a baby with Wiz Khalifa. And I believe there's an 8 or 9 year difference between the two of them in age.
I think so, and I think this guy too is a lot younger as well. And then before Wiz Khalifa, she was with, I'm sure she was with other people, but she was with Kanye West.
Right.
That's kind of how she came to be a national. But before that, I believe she was a model for Louis Vuitton and a couple other, things.
Urban model. Booty model.
Louis Vuitton is not really considered urban.
Right.
But again, like we said, after she got through dating, or while she was dating Kanye, then everybody was like, "Oh, that's Amber Rose."
Yeah, because he used to show up on red carpets with her and stuff like that.
And plus, she's rather unique looking. Like you said, she's light skinned. She can pass. She does have some African American
African
roots and all of that stuff. But she's kind of bald, but her hair is really low and it's blonde. So she's got this hips and booty and big old titties.
So basically, she's built like a sister.
She's built like a sister, and she doesn't have a problem with letting you know she's built like a sister. Okay, so as I was saying, she had this slut walk that she's had for the last 3 years now. And I was confused even up until this morning exactly what a slut walk is. And so her interview, I saw her give, she says, well, she wanted to bring awareness and speak out against rape culture and slut shaming.
What is the rape culture, by the way? I keep hearing that term, and nobody can really define it.
Well, from what I understand, from my understanding, it's let's just take, for instance, going on to a college and the fraternities and the things that may happen at a frat party with some of the girls, and then the justification of it. Oh, she was drunk, or she told me yes, and from what I could be wrong with.
Okay, so let me get this straight. It is now another person's responsibility to be responsible for that person's actions.
Well, when you're speaking about rape, I think everybody in the room is responsible.
Well, what I'm saying is, and don't get me wrong, people out there listening, I'm just trying to ask some questions here.
Okay.
Just like in the Kanika Jenkins case, you're at a party. You're not sure if you're a drinker or whatever the deal is. Your mom tells you don't leave your drink and all this other stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because we know it does.
Right.
Assaults happen, rapes happen, whatever the deal is. However, you notice it only happens to people that aren't paying attention to their surroundings and what's going on.
True, and I get that you're only trying to ask questions, but even if...
Right, I understand.
Right.
But for those people out there that might not.
And so I looked up the definition of rape culture, just to be clear. So it says, rape culture is a sociological concept used to describe a setting in which rape is pervasive and normalized due to societal attitudes about gender and sexuality. So yeah, that could be, we're at a frat party, she was drunk, she told me, I didn't. She wakes up and like, oh my God, you raped me. No, I didn't. You're just over here starting problems.
Right.
That type.
Okay, but again, I always go back to personal responsibility. If you can't hold your liquor, you should be drinking.
Well, true, but even if.
I know, even if. I agree. But again.
And so, maybe that's where, because, as I said, I did a little bit of research about her slut walk. Okay. And she was saying, basically women should be allowed to wear what they want.
Absolutely.
Do what they want. Even drink as much as she wants. And not be slut-shamed or having the rape culture attitude, per se, thrusted upon her. Okay,
before we get into that, let's take a look at a video clip of this Slut Walk week. Is this a fashion show type thing?
It's like a parade and a rally type thing.
Let's take a look at the clip.
Turn around, let's see that back. Ow, ow, Captain Savo, ow.
Let's show you some love. Yes.
You know what it is. Turkey to see. You can see.
Can we all say thank you, Amber, on 3? 1, 2, 3. We love you.
I'm gonna hand these off to my mom, if you don't mind. It's my mama.
She's still digging. Make some noise for that girl, Margie Plus, one more time.
Let's go.
So,
well, that and the other videos that I saw, especially this one, and this is how 21 Savage comes into the play. they're walking, and she has on a costume this year with a long blonde wig and a like Superwoman suit, but she's called Captain Save-A-Ho. And so they're carrying these signs, and the sign that he was carrying says, "I'm a hoe too." And so I guess he's gotten the name 21 Savage, or I don't know what the 21 is about, but Savage is, because he's savage, for how his attitude, and from what I understand, how he in the past would treat women. And so now you have this guy who looks very
effeminate?
Yes. And he's carrying this sign now saying, "I'm a hoe too." And I was like, that must be some good poontang. I mean, I'm just saying, like, let's just say for you, for instance, your girlfriend has this slut walk. And she says, "Baby, I need you to carry this sign."
Fuck no.
Why not? Listen, let's play devil's advocate here. Honey, I do the slut walk. And, the slut walk, I'm speaking against the rape culture and slut shaming and the double standards that are perpetuated against women. You're down with that, aren't you?
Absolutely not. That's why you're my side chick.
But you don't care about slut shaming and rape culture?
Not that I don't care. That is for me, if you're asking me, Donovan Sadiq, we have a saying. If you can't fight for your own freedom, you don't even deserve to be free. So why the hell would I go and fight for you? If that's something that you want to stand up for, you get your ass on out there and go ahead and handle it.
But you agree with me that it's wrong, so why wouldn't you want to support me?
No, I don't agree with you that it's wrong.
You don't believe that rape culture is wrong?
I believe rape culture is wrong.
Slut shaming? Let's see what slut shaming is.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not going to go up there, and for me, it's like going to a gay person's parade or the gay pride parade. You will never see me at the gay pride parade. You'll never see me do that.
Okay, well, and you probably never see me there either, because
right.
I'm not against it, but it's not. I'm not.
No. I'm against it, but it's their right to do what they want to do, and so I'm gonna make sure that I am not there to cause a distraction or a problem or whatever. I'm gonna go do something else.
Okay, so slut shaming. It says, in human sexuality, slut shaming is a form of social stigma applied to people, especially women and girls, who are perceived to violate traditional expectations for sexual behaviors. Some examples are of circumstances wherein women are slut shamed, including violating dress code policies by dressing in a perceived sexual provocative
standards,
requesting access to birth control, having premarital, casual, or promiscuous sex, engaging in prostitution, or when being victim blamed for being raped or otherwise sexually assaulted.
Okay, basically,
so that's slut shaming.
Yeah, basically what they're saying is going against the standards set by civilization or a society.
And some will even say, and some being feminists, some will even say set forth by men. Okay. For example, I can't remember the name of this senator that I read in the paper. You might know. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, he's a staunch opponent of abortion, and as most right-wing people are. And his mistress sent out a text from him asking her to have an abortion. So it's like, here you have these, and listen, I'm not defending the slut walk, but I understand in a way why it's, if this is what is true what she's saying.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with her. You know what, I have a disagreement with how she's going about it.
Okay, so that we can get into. But just before we do that, so here you have the Society of Men, which, it's not no secret that men have made the rules and all this other stuff. And believe me, I am no feminist, and I hate when people try to, say, are you a feminist or you should be a feminist? No, I'm not a feminist, because I don't agree with that whole, I agree with some of the things.
Sure.
But so, yeah, you have men who are setting the rules. Well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And per that...
That's why I love Republican women. They believe that women shouldn't get paid equal pay for equal work.
Some dumbasses, okay?
I love Republican women.
But yeah, so I agree with that. And then like with the whole birth control thing, a lot of Republicans, they don't want to pay for that.
They don't want to pay for it, but then you're going to bring children in here and starve them to death? Put them in a society to where they're killing each other? I mean, that doesn't make any sense either.
So then why don't they don't want to pay for birth control, but they want to keep Viagra getting paid for in there.
Cialis and Viagra.
And well, it takes Viagra to get it up, and then once you get it up, you can impregnate somebody. It's like...
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, but okay.
So, so you said you have a problem with
how she's coming about it.
How she's coming about it. Okay, so do tell.
Well, what I'm saying is, okay, everybody, and I'm just saying, I personally wouldn't have taken her approach to do it. Because what you're doing is, like you said, she's a high-profile people. Some people want to be models. Some young girls want to be models.
True.
Some people look up to her for whatever reasons. The Kardashians. These are people that have no talent. They don't sing. They don't dance. They made a sex tape. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter thought she was gonna shoot to fame, getting into porn, and that horribly backfired.
I just have a whole just a sidebar here. I have a whole problem with the fact that his daughter even needed to try to get in.
Right. Well,
your daddy Lawrence Fishburne. The end.
Exactly. A-list actor. But and by the way, for those of you guys don't know, I've met Larry Fishburne. Lawrence. I call him Lawrence.
Larry. Larry for short.
Great guy, very down. Some people say he's kind of hard to work. I guess when he got bigger, but I met him when he's doing the Boys in the Hood thing. And one thing people don't remember about Larry Fishburne is he got his start in Catfish Earl.
I remember that.
And then he was in Apocalypse Now. Mm-hmm. The guy, the young black kid.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
He's been around, child actor. He was a child actor.
Long time.
So, and then see him gray. It's just funny. These kids when they're young and they grow up. Anyway, back to my side thing. I think that, there's other ways to go about this. She could have joined with other organizations to fight for that. I mean, going through TMZ and raising aware of it as an entertainment venue is not going to change anything. You need to go and do it legislatively if you really are serious about what you're doing.
Well, how do you change legislatively? I can't believe I said that, legislatively. How do you change that? How do you change attitudes?
Well, here's how you do it. I mean, unfortunately, you could be out there as an entertainer, Bill Cosby, all these entertainers, Richard Pryor. How do you feel? NFL, Ray Lewis. These aren't leaders. Leaders are elected. Okay, they don't make laws. Congressmen make laws. So you're going to have to lobby your representative and your congressman and have them take up a bill to do these certain things and set up these organizations to stop all this stuff. Mothers Against Drunk Driving in the 70s. There wasn't a problem with driving drunk until the mothers had enough and they said these people are being killed.
Right.
And they mandated insurance.
Right.
All kinds of stuff kicked off, but they did it from a process of awareness and lobbying their legislators. That's one way to do it.
But I agree with that. But if I feel like, let's just say me, that woman walking across the street, look at her. She's got this little bitty skirt on. She's a hoe.
Okay.
How do you mandate or legislate that?
You can't. It's just like racism in America. You got all these laws out here, but yet you got a racist in the White House.
So I think that's what Amber Rose was saying. Listen, I'm not a defendant. I like some aspects. Lately, I have not liked Amber Rose because some of the stuff she's doing with the shot of she put a photo of her with her bare hootenanny and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, like why? So, but in a way, you can kind of see why she's raising awareness. I don't know if it's gonna be effective. I mean, how do you? Because this is how I feel. If you feel like a woman is being a hoe for whatever she's wearing, Amber Rose getting out there and having a slut walk and then acting like a slut, quote unquote.
See,
and talking about I'm a hoe, I'm a hoe.
See,
that's not gonna change your mind.
No, it's not gonna change my mind. If anything, it's gonna reinforce what I already think.
Exactly. And so to me, I could be wrong, but as Donovan says, I doubt it.
Right.
To me, I think it is about just attention for her.
Right.
It's because she is obviously what do you call it, an exhibitionist, where she likes to show her body and most of the time you see Amber Rose and her friends, like in Black China's and all of them, they're showing their body. So
that's all they have. That's all they have.
I hate to admit it, but I think you're right.
That's all they have.
So I just for me, I think that's just a way of them just getting more attention. And the earlier point that you made about celebrities, unfortunately, people look up to celebrities, especially young people.
Yeah. And
so here you have Amber Rose, who I guess some people would say is a celebrity. Saying it's okay to be a hoe. Having a slut walk.
So with that anthem and how she's doing it, you don't think men don't approve of that?
Well, you tell me, you're a man.
Look, if that's how she's going to go about it, I have no problem with her doing what she's doing.
Okay.
You want to walk out with your titties out, your hoo-ha showing, and you're going to get all these other girls to do it? How many men in America is going to be against that?
Okay, the better question is how many men in America would take a woman like that seriously and want to perhaps take her home to his mama?
None.
Okay, so
none.
I guess you have to ask what's more important. And because I think from her standpoint, she's more or less like, you should accept me the way I am. If I want to walk out of this house butt naked,
you can,
without a stitch of clothes on, you should not have a problem with it.
I don't.
And you should, matter of fact, do what my man is doing. You should stand right there with me and say, well, I'm a hoe too.
Well, her man is a simp, because again, if you want freedom and you're not willing to fight for it, you don't deserve to be free. So that is a woman's issue. It's just like, okay, this is my personal opinion about abortion and stuff like that. As a man, I believe that I have a certain say in what goes on. But at the end of the day, it's her body. She's going to do what she wants to do. Nothing I can do about that. But the debate about abortion, men should have almost little to no input when it comes to what women want to do with their bodies.
Okay, so let's say you find out your boo thing is getting ready to have a baby, but she's like, I don't want it, but you do.
Right.
You have no say so?
No, I do have say so, but however, at the end of the day, and a lot of guys are probably doing that, trying to talk these women out of not doing what they're doing, but they're doing it anyway. How do you change that? For us to stop you guys from doing what you guys are doing is we got to change legislation, which is what the Republicans are trying to do now by reversing the clock on Roe versus Wade, so women could go back and do alley abortions. And a lot of these young people who don't remember those days, I mean, you were old enough to remember those days. That's it was against the law, and if you didn't want that baby, you went down to Mexico somewhere, Tijuana, or got the thing done, and it was horrific because the damage that was done. So legislatively, you got to do that. We're going to be talking about Kanika Jenkins in the second hour. She was pregnant and I believe lost her baby.
Really?
That came out.
Oh wow, we definitely got to talk about that.
So, but that was a while back. Whatever. But there's pictures of her popped out, whatever the deal is. And when we're speaking of abortion, I don't even bring this up, but people don't want to believe that black babies are killed at an alarming rate compared to other groups.
Right. Well, because we know that was part of the eugenics program.
But why is it that we put into our daughters' heads and our children's head having a baby is going to ruin your life? It'll ruin your life.
I don't know if it's been. Well, I guess you can go off that it's been put in your head that it'll ruin your life. Some people will not disagree with that. To me, it's all a matter of perspective, how you're looking at it. Okay, I'm this young girl. I'm now presented with this, baby I'm getting ready to have. I can either say, oh my gosh, it's going to ruin my life because I can't. And I see that the operative word is can't. It's because I can't go do this and I can't go
to
do
the
that.
club, I can't be a slut,
well, no,
I can't be this,
Lord,
I can't be that. No,
see, now you're going to get your ass whooped by these people.
Right.
You're already talking about not.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, but then if you're saying, okay, I'm a young girl and I'm presented with this baby, I'm going to have this baby, okay, yes, it's going to be hard, however, I am still going to graduate school, and I'm not going to make the same, not to liken the baby to a mistake, but it is what it is. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I'm going to go on and do great things in my life so that my baby will have a better life and don't repeat the cycle.
Right.
So if you're telling your child it's going to ruin your life, well, then you kind of got to question, well, damn, did I ruin your life?
Right.
I mean, so to me, it's just a matter of perspective.
But this slut walk thing it's really, I think it's going to backfire because now it's already bad that black women are, presented in a negative light and hoes and bitches in song and music and video, all kinds of stuff. So now this is just going to reinforce that. So then you're going to have men have less respect, I believe.
Well, it's not just black women.
Well, women in general.
There's white women, there's
women
gay dudes, black, white, transgender. They're all out there promoting the anthem of I'm a slut, I'm a hoe, so what?
Well, then, if that's what you're saying, then I need you in the back of the car doing what you need to do.
But see, there's some...
Because that's what you say you are.
But they're saying that's okay, but it's not up to you to decide if that's good or bad. I can be called a hoe if I want.
Absolutely.
And you should still respect
24
me.
years of my life was given so that you can express yourself.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and I'll try to answer it myself. Now, just something I thought about. If you had an opportunity to bring awareness to, or speaking out against rape culture and slut shaming, how would you do it? Let's just even pretend that you care. How would you go about doing other than having a slut walk that's saying, I'm a hoe, I'm a slut?
I would team with some of these women groups.
You?
Yes, I would team with some of these women groups, and like I said, it all comes down to, in my opinion, the low self-esteem of women.
But a devil's advocate here, some would say it takes a woman with a lot of self-esteem to go out and have a slut walk and say, in your face, I don't care.
Well, I have yet to meet a Condoleezza Rice or a Cicely Tyson or somebody, Kamala Harris, that is where they are at because they said I'm a slut.
Well, maybe they did it behind closed doors.
Could be, but wait, could be. But they're not advertising.
I definitely agree with you.
So
on that.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that either. It's not what you do; it's how you do it.
How you do it and who you do it to.
Right.
I'm just playing. I don't know anything about it.
So how would you do it?
That is a good question. Honestly, like I said, I didn't even think about it. But if I had to bring awareness with it, I think I would start with me first. Because I honestly believe like there's a lot of people out there trying to change the world before they're trying to change what's going on in their home. I have a daughter, I have nieces, and other girls who, I have influenced, been around their whole lives. And so I would start with me. And in a sense, I guess to me, it looks like, Amber is trying to influence the people who are doing a slut shaming. Maybe try to influence my nephews too and how they view women.
But isn't there a better way to do it than calling yourself a slut?
Well, I would never call myself that. Right. I mean, that to me, that's just ignorance.
See, that's what I'm saying. You've got to change the imaging. To me, it's like what we're doing on this show right now. Everybody is visual. They want to, we have a podcast. We're doing a podcast. That's one thing, because you put an image in a person's head. It's about imaging. If you're walking around in a G-string and like those girls, high school girls down in Florida running around in the garter, that was totally unacceptable. But that was based on visually what we saw. Because what I saw of those young girls in Florida, I got cousins at Bree Studios that are dancers.
Yes.
So I've been around dancing all my life.
Yes.
I understand it.
Yes.
But this is cheerleading.
Right.
Okay? Outside of them taking off those garters, it's still kind of risque.
Oh, yeah.
But I can accept that.
I can accept it, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we can transition into that. So for those of you who don't know what Donovan is speaking about, it was you said Florida, right?
It was in Florida.
So it was a high school sort of like drill dance team of girls who somebody put out like a collage, a video collage of their moves.
Yeah, I think it was their dance instructor or assistant or something. Look how great we are! Right. Look how this is so good.
But what
girls are talented.
They're very talented. But what most people took away from that was how their outfits looked. And they had the back cut out, and then they had these garter belts on that were holding their stockings or to their. It was
looked like a stripper.
Yeah, exactly Olympic. What it was, or something that a woman would wear in a husband for her man, in a bedroom for her husband.
Now you're at a football game, a public football game, prancing around in an outfit like that.
But some would say that's slut shaming. Because they should be able to wear what they want.
That's true. However, no, they can't wear everything they want because they're minors.
Well, because I like to play devil's advocate. Matter of fact, I'm going to go it's Halloween. I'm going to try to find me some little devil ones here.
You need to.
Their moms paid for it, so they're okay with it. The principal obviously didn't have a problem with it.
And guess what? That principal
the administrator.
And guess what? The administrators and the principals are under fire right now.
But we saw the compilation tape.
Sure.
We saw at least 10 times they performed in this. So you mean to tell me at least 10 times that everybody was okay with it?
No, absolutely, in that little area. But the minute it went on social media, what happened?
But I guess the point that I'm making is, how did it even get that far? I mean, the minute that I don't know whose idea it was to go to the little because I danced my whole life, and my daughter, niece and stuff too. So there's this brochure, this catalog you go to, and you look at all these uniforms and these little costumes. And so whoever said, "Oh, this one here with the garter belt is cool. Let's go see if we can get that approved."
Well, remember,
how did it get that far?
I'll tell you. Remember, you're a dancer. Your outfit is based on the routine of dance that you're doing. So these girls are doing a seductive. You know what?
Some of the moves are seductive.
Are very seductive. Let's take a look at the video and just see what they say.
The video clips shared on social media, then reposted, getting a lot of attention. The teenage girls, who we have learned are students at Miami Northwestern Senior High School, appear to be on the sideline of a football field performing a synchronized routine. Some commenting online have described their uniform as lingerie and written that it is not age appropriate, while others argue it is art and they love the look.
Doesn't bother me any. I don't see anything wrong with it. They're dancers, right? I could see if cheerleaders were in it, then that would be different, but they're dancers.
I'm old-fashioned. Well, I believe it's too sexy. You got a lot of bad people out there that will look at that and take it a different way, you see? That's the way, but you know, I got 2 daughters I deal with, and I won't allow that.
The principal of the girls' school releasing this statement. Miami Northwestern Senior High School has always been a source of pride for students, parents, alumni, and the community. We will continue that tradition. While all the parents of the dancers who participated in the event approved of the attire, we understand the concerns that have been raised and sincerely apologize for any offense this may have caused. Looking ahead, we will implement a more comprehensive and stringent uniform approval process to ensure an appropriate representation of our school. The school district's buses in the background of one clip. The teenage girls fanning themselves, bags in hand.
So looking at that as a spectator, are you getting hyped up because of the football game or the wrestling game or the basketball game? Or are you getting hyped up because you see these young, erotic, sexualized young girls in garter straps putting another visual in your mind?
Well, the thing, too, is that cheerleaders, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to hype up the crowd. Now, I used to be a cheerleader as well. You know, back in the day, we had some bomb cheers. However, I come from the school of where we had these thick, you know, polyester uniforms that went down damn near to the knee, and you could hardly move because it was stiff. But that wasn't, you didn't focus on our costumes or our uniforms.
You focused on the
cheer.
cheer.
Right. You know, hold that line.
Right.
And, you know, you ugly. You all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, to me, the outfits take away from their purpose. And I like I said, I always get appalled at the amount of people that pass through. Like, if I was sitting in that audience or the crowd and I saw those little girls, I'd immediately went and complained. And it would be like, this is unacceptable. I don't want to come to a football game and see children dressed like that.
And see, that's my problem with it. These are minors. They do not have a choice. They are under the jurisdiction of some kind of adult.
But again,
I understand.
all those adults.
No, I understand. But like I said, I would like to see the fathers that would have said that was acceptable.
Well, see.
And notice, all of those cheerleaders, wasn't one white one, wasn't one Hispanic one, wasn't one Asian one.
But in all fairness, I will say this. My daughter, and her and my niece, when they went to this high school, a predominantly white high school, poly high school, they have all this money and stuff. I saw with my own 2 eyes. Now, I don't got 20/20 vision, but I did see the cheerleaders who were predominantly white do a seductive dance to Rick James's Super Freak.
Right, but were they in garters?
No, but they had on booty shorts and their shirts were tied up and all of that kind of stuff. This is a high school.
Right, no, I understand that. But was it still cheer out attire?
No.
It was something else.
It was something else.
How long ago was this?
About 6 years ago.
Okay, well then they're still wearing the long Spanx.
No, it was very inappropriate.
Right.
So I don't think it's necessary. Now, is it a question of does it go on more?
Yes, it does.
In our race, I don't know. I don't want to get beat up.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, and we talk about this all the time. Black women are last in every category.
Why?
Right? Well, we know because there's a conspiracy or whatever.
I'm just asking you from your point of view why.
Because look at what we're doing. We're not raising our children. We're not putting standards out there saying this is the standard.
Okay.
Okay. We're letting them get away with it. When you're a minor in my house, my kids ain't got no rights.
True.
That's just all there is to it.
I agree with
the law says I have to take care of this child till they're 18.
Right.
At 18, I'm not saying I'm throwing you out.
Right.
But the point is, at 18 now. You can make your own decisions. But like I said,
in your house, though.
No, not in my
house.
house.
I'm saying they can make their own decision in their house.
In their house, right. If this was college and those girls had decided to do that, that was a cut. These are grown adults. They know what they're doing.
I agree.
This is high school.
Okay, because like I said, I mean, that passed the test through quite a few people. And to your point about their fathers, now, Yeah, they were all black, but I just doubt very seriously that none of their fathers were in the picture. I think that there was, let's say even at least half of their fathers were in the picture.
And if half of their fathers were in the picture and still let this thing go down the way it did, those are some simp-ass fathers.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because I just recall a time when I was in the 10th grade, blue jean miniskirts were out then. But we were still wearing stockings. We never went out of the house. We rarely went out of the house without stockings.
Yeah, let it breathe.
And so I was getting ready to go to school, and my father, my stepfather, he says, "You're not going out the house like that." And I was like, "Why, Dad?" Because I call my stepfather.
Yeah,
Dad. I said, it's too short, and this, that, he, had a fit. And so he went to work, and then my mom was like, "Well, it's okay. You can wear it." Because it really wasn't that bad, but he was like, "No, you're not wearing that out of the house."
Right.
So I don't know, I just can't imagine a father, a daughter bringing that uniform home and say, "Dad, look what we're going to perform." And it says, "Well, that's
and
cute,
don't get
honey."
me wrong. Any father worth his salt knows in certain situations the mother will supersede his authority and say, "Oh, go ahead, okay, Dad ain't going to the game anyway, so we ain't gonna worry about it." And no, and I'm very sure that probably happened.
Right.
But when this thing went viral, what were most of the comments people were saying around the world? It was inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Take the garter off, I would go with it.
Take the garter off, put some dark stockings on,
Right,
and
I would
cover
go
the
with
holes. Even the holes in the back weren't terribly
They weren't
bad.
terrible, but to me, I had a problem with the garter.
I have a problem with the garter too, in the hole.
Because it gave me the visualization of stripper Olympics.
Well, right, and as a man, not that you think that way, it wasn't giving you like, "Oh, this is going to be a dynamite cheer. I can't wait to hear it."
Right, I'm looking at these girls like this.
Right, or, because that would have been me, like, what?
Right, and don't be wrong, these girls are very talented. I'm not taking anything away from their talent.
Extremely talented.
But the sexualization of some of the moves.
Well, I would rather see, like I said,
I don't know why putting your leg up here and...
Well, that's a typical dance move.
No, I understand that.
Right.
I know dance, but what I'm saying is, it's just the idea of what they were doing in the garter.
No, I agree with that. Just because, I've danced for a long time. And for me, the costume does make the routine stand out. I don't know if it makes it better, but it makes it stand out. I would prefer to see the routine opposed to seeing that.
Right. Now, I'm going to give a quick plug out because I remember I started with Cliff when he very first started his thing. Mm-hmm. For those of you guys who are watching, there is a studio here in Riverside, California, and it's a very known studio. Mm-hmm. It's known as Bree Dance Studio. It's been in business for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Now, and this studio is very popular and is very competitive because these they dance, and the artistic director there and owner, his name is Clifford Breland. He's from Mississippi originally. Mm-hmm. And I'm just giving him a quick plug. I've known Cliff all his time. All my cousins dance there.
I've danced there.
I used to go to drop the kids off and go to the things.
Yeah.
That studio was known for and look it up on the internet, Bree Dance Studio, whatever. Clifford Breland. Attitude. The attitude. When these girls when that team came to competition,
you knew that was Bree.
You knew it was Bree,
yes.
and you knew that was the team to beat in Southern California because they were taking trophies all over the place.
And where they went.
And I believe until this day they're still doing that.
Yeah, I remember when because my daughter first started out there, and then we went to another studio for a little bit. And then, so when they would show up, we're like, "What?
Yeah.
Why are we even here?"
Yeah. Just give them the trophy right now. It's
they came, showed up, showed out, and then left.
Yes, very, very, very phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when they dance, and in Cliff's artistic direction, you can see his vision in all of his dancers.
Yes.
And very powerful dancing.
Oh yes.
Seductive but classy.
And age appropriate.
Yes.
Age appropriate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
My favorite thing. My little cousin Brittany, Cliff had done this one called, it was like the Princess Song Thieves in the Temple. Mm-hmm. And these girls were dressed as little genies.
Yeah.
And they would jump all over the stage.
Yeah.
It was the cutest little routine. Oh my God, I love it. But
no garter belts though?
No garter belts.
Oh, okay.
But again, you can do that if it's dance.
Right.
But this is a cheer.
Right.
We're at a football game.
Yeah, I think they're more like a dance team where they get on it. I'm not just trying to make it. I agree. I'm trying to make the difference. And so they're there for entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. But it's like at some point in time, and I would just like to say this, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but I don't give a damn. we as black women, because I'm speaking from a black woman's point of view, we do need to start holding each other accountable and stop making excuses for the bullcockery that we do. We do need to do that and stop calling
everybody. Let me give you a cheer. Oh. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we need to stop. We need to stop calling each other haters when we disagree. If we know anything, and some of y'all who are Bible thumpers, and even just the way it works in any tribe, society, whatever the case is, the woman is the first teacher, and the women are supposed to hold other women accountable and are supposed to teach the younger women how to behave in every way, shape, and form. So stop calling the other women haters because they're saying, you know, that the slut walk, and you know, these kids probably shouldn't be wearing garter belts. To me, I read some of the comments, you know, even with the Cardi B thing, oh, women are hating. No, we're not. Some of us are still used to, call us old school if you want to, but some of us are still used to, you know, behaving like a lady.
Well, how about giving something to the imagination? These girls are walking around right now to where I don't have to buy them a drink because I can see everything I need to see. And the beautiful sex organ is not what's between your legs; it's what's between your mind.
Right, but let me just go ahead and just, you know, take some the men to task with that. Absolutely. Because I also believe it's the man's responsibility to shun that behavior. If you see, stop paying attention to those type of women. You know, we talk about it all the time, and it's becoming like this thing now where these Instagram models and these people. I heard somebody that said last time that Instagram models are
Instagram hoes.
But why though? Because they have men who are
thirsty.
You know, you know, just salivating and liking and showing these women all this attention. So you guys need to start shunning that behavior. Stop paying it attention.
Okay, stop right there.
Stop right here.
Why is it that these men are doing that?
Because they're thirsty.
We know they're thirsty. And
because these women, through the magic of the filters and stuff, are, you know, some of these men are thinking they're specifically talking to them.
Right. Well, here's the problem. We've raised 2 generations, now 3 generations, I'm sorry, of young black men, or young men, especially in our community, that are raised by women.
Okay.
And so, if they see mama looking like a thought and running around and, oh, take a picture, I mean, and you see it thousands of times. I'll go to some of my friends that are my age, family members, whatever, and I sometimes wonder, who took that picture? You know, they're in their bedroom.
My mama.
Right. They got their kids taking pictures in front of the door. You know that famous picture, you're in front of the door and they're like this? You know what I mean?
Well, that's not terrible.
No. But what I'm saying is, though, if your mom is a thought and, you know what I mean, you're thinking, okay, mom looks like that, my sister looks like that. I'm in this environment where I'm supposed to be a man, but there's no male role models in my life like that.
Right.
Showing me, hey, you know, that's why I know comments come in, people say, oh, this nigga don't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. However, I'm still a real man. Like I said, I'm not against women doing what they want to do, but don't ask me to partake of that. That's for you to stand up for yourself.
And I think that's kind of where the whole little opposition to Amber Rose's slut walk is coming in.
I'm not Captain Saberho.
Well, it's like, okay, fine, Amber, if that's what you want to do, great, but don't make the rest of society feel bad or evil because they don't agree that you should be walking around like a slut. I mean, to me, I'm like, do you, boo?
Yeah, do you?
Just don't impose that on me.
Exactly, and don't impose that on my children.
Right, and I'm not teaching my daughter to do that. Regardless of how you feel.
Let me give you another... Yes, so this is our podcast. You're going to hear all the special effects and stuff like that. So that was a great point. But in regards to those young girls, Amber Rose, according to the standards of society, it's unacceptable because if we start letting that happen, why wear drawers at all? Why wear shorts at all? Why wear tops? You know what? I don't understand this. You go to the beach, men can have their shirts off. Why can't women do it?
Well, I actually think that's a good question. I mean, we came in the world naked.
Why not? Then what?
Well, I mean, I just think because we live in America,
we have to have standards.
Well, no, but then I guess that's a whole other topic. I know we run out of time, but
we got plenty of time.
That just depends on what standards you're going on. If you live in Africa or some parts of Africa, because everybody's not running around naked, but some parts of other places in the world, clothes are just like in the way. They don't wear clothes and they're not looking at each other like, damn, she got a fat ass.
But unfortunately, we're in America, we're in our reality. There are standards of society.
So that's what I'm saying.
When society doesn't have standards, you're living in the wild, wild west.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So per America standards, if you don't wear clothes, it's dirty. And we can even go back to the Garden of Eden when when Eve disobeyed God and
fooled that man. Didn't tell her where she got that fruit.
And they ate the apple, and then they became aware that they were naked. Like, oh my God, this is bad.
Right.
So that's kind of where it started, if you want to be honest.
Okay,
but the Bible goes.
Right, no, I understand that. But see, I deal in the situation I'm in right now. I can't worry about tomorrow. I can't worry about yesterday. I worry about right now.
Right.
We have standards, and if we keep lowering those standards, they're just going to lower them. Then why have anything at all?
Well, no, I agree, but that's like you said, it's the wild, wild west to where any and everything goes now.
And I don't believe that anything and everything doesn't.
If you go against, as you would say, that is not considered the standard, you're a hater. You just don't want to see nobody succeed, and you just mad because you can't do it.
Because my thing is, if you want to change the standard, do the legislation, put it on the books. It's going to take a process to get there, but it can be done.
Yeah, but again, you can't change the attitude.
No, you can't, because we have rules that say godly rules. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not adult. Thou shalt not do these things, and people break them anyway. So what's the point?
Well, yeah, but then at what point in time do you say, all right, well, I'm just not going to say nothing no more because people talk about I'm a hater. You just want to do you.
And that's what they want you to do.
Right. They want to bully you into their point of view. Like me, I'm like, do what you want to do. Just don't encroach upon what it is I want to do. Listen, I happen to think that that as women, as ladies, you should be ladylike. Now, do I always wear burlap sacks all the way down to the ground? I don't know. I don't.
Your burqa? Yeah.
I don't. But I do think we should be as modest, and there's always a time and a place for that. I don't think I should be able to, thrust what I want to do on you.
I'm going to say this. I dated a girl from the country of Jordan in the Middle East. Okay?
Becky?
No, well, she was Jordanian. Beautiful eyes. This girl was beautiful, right? Now, she covered herself up because she was of Muslim background, whatever it is. Now, I'm looking at this girl, she's very covered up. I think, okay, she's nice looking. When she got out of her garb and stuff, that was the most, it was better than even what I thought.
So you're saying that you like the fact that you had to use your imagination when she's covered up, and then when she took it off, it was like, well, I'll be damned.
Yes. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. I was like,
So you like an element of surprise?
Well, not an element of surprise, but it gives you something to look forward to.
Got it.
Oh my God.
I think most men would say that.
Yes.
Most men was, you might think that's good to look at, but
yeah, she looks good in her clothes. You're thinking, okay, wow, she's fine. But when she got out of those clothes,
like, God damn it,
holy moly! Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
But now you got girls parading. Yeah. but now you got girls parading around, and you're kind of borderline yourself. You come here with these booty shorts and stuff. I'm thinking,
I got some shorts right now.
But you got these girls parading around and almost nothing, and they're dancing to the slut songs and all that stuff. But yet you want respect. You know what I mean? Songs about bitch and hoe and Cardi B and bitch, I got in the bleed. That song sounds so retarded to me. Cause I don't fuck with you. What? But anyway, you got all these things going on. How do you? He's not respecting me. How do you expect us to respect you?
He said you got to give him something to respect.
Right. So, it was just crazy. It was crazy. For those who don't know, please check out D on YouTube. We just put a video up that deals with Cardi B. Just hashtag Cardi B. It'll come up, I guess.
Is that the video I got called a nappy head and I need to do something?
Yeah. That one. No. That wasn't that video. It was the video.
Oh, it was a different video.
But check her thing out. We're doing a live podcast. You guys check out the podcast. It's called Loving the Skin I'm In. Hashtag it. You guys check it out. It's on the internet. Go to News from the Edgemont on YouTube. You can check it there. Or News from the Edgemont on Google+. We're trying to hit you guys everywhere we can. In the second hour, we're going to talk a little bit about Miss Kanika Jenkins and the incident that is happening over there. Those tapes were released.
Okay.
Additional footage, and it's a little something weird about how that thing went.
Stay tuned,
and we're going to be back with that. You can catch D on her live Facebook show on Sundays at 3 o'clock. Look for Demetra K. And what are you going to be talking about Sunday?
I don't know. It's still early.
It's still early. When are you going to do a show on me? I'm a colorful character.
Oh, okay.
I would love to. No, I don't.
I would love to have people throw rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Holmes got your ass whooped
yeah, Holmes got my ass whooped last time. I mean, I had people picketing my house and stuff. It was unbelievable. So this is Loving the Skin. I'm in Donovan Sadiq, DK, and we're going to be back in the second hour. You guys, thanks for listening. Please like, share, get the information out. Guys, cannot wait to see we're going to talk about in the second hour. So just stand by. And we will be right back.